For the news review this morning, our guest, we have Dr. Kiamwako. She's a member of the NPP Communications Directorate. And we have Mohammed Bataglia. He's Member of Parliament for Sisala East. Of course, Samuel Kojo-Brace and I are here to steer the conversations for you. Welcome aboard to the news review, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Yeah? Okay. Kojo, hope you're doing well. Okay. I want to start with the legislator for Sisala East, because obviously your constituency have been in the news. We understand the rains have sort of divided the town into two.
Yes.
Is it roads? How is it going?
Well, may I start by saying a very good morning to everyone here, especially you and our back-end staff. May I also extend the same greetings to my people in the Sisala East constituency. And like you rightly put it, we are predominantly a farming community. Already we are struggling with issues about roads connecting to our farms. Of late, for the past 1 week, we've had one of the best news in the country. I think that the reading of the media policy review indicated strongly government's commitment to make sure that it opened up the Sisala area by connecting the road from Wa through to Mutu Bolga and Musu also going into the farming areas. But unfortunately, last week, I think we had some torrential rains that washed away quite a number of portions of roads, like connecting Tumu to Kasana. We have Tumu, Nabugobale, Delibuzon. We have from Gosi to Santebale, Santejan. All those places have been washed away, and those are that is the area where we have most people having their farms. But thanks to the people, I think that we've risen to the task through the assembly led by the municipal chief executive, the community members, the task force being put in place. I think that we've been able to bring the road connecting Kasana, Tumu to Kasana. People can now go take their farming inputs there. We've also gotten the signal from the national security that by Friday they should be there to have a thorough assessment of the situation so that they can come with emergency support. We only express our gratitude to the government and the team and everybody who helped in getting the roads back on shape.
All right. Well, thank you. I sort of directed your reflections, but if there's something else you prepared before coming, we can hear that.
Otherwise, that is the most important. But only to, I think that I also have some condolences to express to a family. We lost a sister, and my nephew Aya and Co. They are currently in Boku, going through the funeral processes. I do my heart out to the family, and I pray that God Almighty Allah will keep our mother safe wherever she finds herself. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Kiamwako. Celebrity. Good morning. Let's hear your thoughts for us this morning.
Well, I would extend my thoughts and prayers to the people of Sisala as well. I hope. I'm very sure that.
She's the best friend.
I'm very sure that my brother here would make sure that his people are catered for. I think this year we've had more rain than we usually do. So we would all have to adjust and find ways such that it doesn't affect our living too much. That is there. And to what I found interesting today, well, when I was coming here this morning, I was just reading what was going on social media, and I saw the announcement of the new cocoa price. I'm sure it's something that everybody has heard. And all I'm trying to grasp is the difference between what we ordered and what we received. You see those memes on social media when you buy a dress, seeing it looking very nice in picture, and then you receive the outfit and it is very far from what you ordered. I think that's the exact situation the government has put our cocoa farmers in, because how do you promise as much as 6,000? Some of them even said 7,000 cedis per bag, and now that they are in government, they are only able to add something like 127, if my math isn't 128. Oh, I missed one city. Yes. So 128 is all they've been able to add. And no matter how you try to explain it or cut this matter, it just shows the pattern of mistruths, half-truths, and sometimes flat-out lies that the current NDC administration told the people of Ghana to get into power. I don't know how they'll be able to explain themselves out of this situation. I would just hope that they are able to sit down at the table again and come up with a more acceptable price for our cocoa farmers, because it wasn't too long ago that you promised them 6,000. You must have understood the framework and everything that went into that. So instead of excuses and now explaining with long grammar and thesis, we hope that they get to work and they are able to come up with a situation that gets the Ghanaian farmer about 6,000 as they promised.
But when they say the economic conditions of yesteryear isn't as today, and today the cedi has gained close to 5 cedis more. Okay. And so if they give the farmer what they've given, it still is better than what they were enjoying yesterday. You don't agree with them?
It's actually not better. When you are telling somebody that you are engaged in financial dealings with, better is improved cash in their pockets. Better is an improved quality of life and ability, purchasing power. So that is not true. You haven't offered them better. That excuse of the rate at that time, you know, we can look at the exchange rates because it usually fluctuates over the whole year of 2024 and look at how many months we had it at the 16 they like to shout on top of their voices. I don't think it was even continuous for about a month. So why do we take the highest exchange rate of that month to do the analysis? It is just, I'm sure again, with their large PR machinery and huge budgets for propaganda, I'm sure that's something that they sat down to think was a plausible excuse to the people of Ghana, but it doesn't hold water. You promised someone 6,000 cedis. It's as simple as that. You knew all the factors and all the parameters that existed at that time. So if you are not able to deliver, and it's not even half, you see, even if it was 5,000, then we can have a conversation. But if you promise 6,000 and all you're able to deliver is 128, as you corrected me, then there's really no excuse.
Does the dollar, the mathematics, when you listen to the analysts break it down, does the dollar value, does it give you any confidence that something at least was done? I mean, from $3,100 to $5,040. Is that a significant price increment, would you say?
62%.
I mean, I understand that 62%. I understand the cedi bit. I mean, it doesn't look like any much increment, you know, because they're still within the 3,000 per bag. But if you look at the dollar value, from 3,100 to 5,040, can you actually blame them?
Sweetie, the promise was simple. And so I'm not even going to bother myself to try and go into the nitty-gritties of that. But as I already said, if you are comparing the dollar, there are times last year in 2024 where the dollar was, I mean, if you are going right now, the last time I changed, I got about 11.8, almost 12 cedis.
Okay.
Yeah. At the forex, where you are actually changing money, that's about how much you get. There are times last year that we had that rate, and those calculations could have been made. So again, I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritties of that. Nobody held a gun to their heads when they were promising these things. They've been in government before, so you expect them to understand the way these things would move around. So if you make a very confident and bold claim of 6,000 and you only deliver 128, I mean, there's no way of going around that.
Okay, so we have to hear Mr. Battaglia's thoughts on this. Actually, I think it's on all the papers this morning, the front pages. So for the benefit of our audience, let me do this before I come to you. Sure. Let me start with the Ghanaian Times newspaper, where on the front page they have government increases cocoa price, reintroduces free fertilizer policy, rolls out scholarship for cocoa farmers wards. And 410 million Ghana cedis earmarked for youth programs. PIAA Foray launched digital platform for agric financing. And small-scale mining, Cabinet approves new national program to drive sustainable livelihoods. So the story I actually want to get into is on page 12, where it talks about the increment of cocoa price by the government. And it says that the government has announced an increment in cocoa producer price from 49,600 Ghana cedis per ton to 51,660 Ghana cedis per ton for the 2025-2026 crop season. And I'm going to skip to the part where, according to Dr. Forson, since the second quarter of 2025, the government had taken steps to maintain the cedi equivalent of the 3,100 per ton to 16 beg your pardon. I lost that. What I was reading. Okay, great. So government has taken steps to maintain the cedi equivalent of the $3,100 per ton at $16 to $1 Ghana cedi, that is the exchange rate, translating into 49,600 per ton. So this is what has happened. Mr. Battaglia, if you listen to what Dr. Mwako is saying, it appears you overpromised and you're under-delivering. That's what she's saying.
I know my smart doctor. She will always find a way on a very cool morning to spark some controversy, subtly though. You see, you realize this is a promise made to the Ghanaian cocoa farmer. And I'm not sure the promise was just a one-off thing. Government will be there for 4 years. And government came and met a situation, especially regarding the cocoa sector. In looking at the economy holistically, we were also told in this country, per revelations, that the cocoa sector has been plunged into huge debt of close to what, 32.5 billion Ghana cedi. And I think government is doing everything to bring this sector back to shape. And as part of this, if we still have positive or even do marginal increment in terms of cocoa pricing for the cocoa farmer, besides that, there are some other social interventions talking about the free fertilizer, spraying, and other machines. So it's a whole complement coming. So for my sister to say that we promise, it's just like an online business, buying through a wrong channel where you get something and later what really delivered to you is not there. It's not the same situation here. I am even thinking that government really brought so much relief to the cocoa farmer. And
but aren't they right to point you to 2024 when you were in opposition?
Yeah.
And you told the government that they should be increasing the price to 6,000, and that when you come, you do that.
Yes.
Aren't they right to say that's what you said?
Yeah.
And so doing less than means that you've disappointed them.
We are doing less than what has been given to them already, or we are increasing to what has been given to them. But I also said that that statement made was not in connection to just a one-off thing. That when we come, it's just 6,000.
No. You said the prices, cocoa prices.
Yes, cocoa prices, definitely. As we move on, once the economy is in full shape, it will be reviewed.
So you are yet to do that?
Yeah, we will do that.
Okay.
We are taking it forward. We are not taking it backwards at all. Okay. What the cocoa farmer is receiving today is much better than what they have received in the past. So you couldn't have said that with treating any cocoa farmer. But I'm thinking that she's lying on the fact that, we promised 6,000, and no matter what it takes, whether rain or shine, we have to provide 6,000. But the situations that we unveiled at the cocoa sector by Dr. Radi Abe clearly shows that you only need a tough skin to be able to make sure that the sector works. And that is what we are doing exactly.
Are you saying we are going to be seeing marginal increments as this season opens, this 2025, 2026?
Obviously. What is happening, even today, to the chance they are restraining themselves from going for syndicated loans, shows that they are poised to make sure that they put the sector. If you even said that whatever contract they want to go into, until they are capable of paying, they won't go into such contract. They are not intending to pile that sector with further debt, but to make sure that the cocoa farmer, the Ghanaian economy, benefit from what? The ingenuity of the leaders in that sector. So clearly, I'm sure that the cocoa farmer out there, go and interview and see. They are more than happy than any other person.
Well, yesterday on Top Story, I spoke to Nana Obuade, who is the president of Concerned Cocoa Farmers, and they vehemently, opposed the increment, and he revealed that some farmers in the western north were even threatening to cut down their trees and rather plant rubber, because rubber is giving them more money now. So maybe that's it. That's according to him. If he's lying, I am lying too. He says the farmers aren't happy with that.
No, some farmers might not be happy, but others will be happy. Yes, so I believe that the majority will be happy, believing that the government is in a situation.
In fact, Dr. Randobe also said that the board has 2 farmers.
Yes.
Who also agree so well.
Actually, you want to let us know your thoughts if you're watching us, because when we get into our big story segment, we'll be discussing this incisively. So what do you think? What do you know about the subject matter? Let us know. You can send through your comments. Kojo, should we get to your paper next?
I have the Daily Graphic, and on the front page, it says, government activates 2 flagships. Jumara apprenticeship programs receive over 230,000 applications. Valley View, UCC, UEW qualify for TBSC semifinals. Cocoa prices raised to 51,660 a ton. GES to dismiss supervisors, invigilators caught in exam malpractice. Okay. I'm caught between doing the flagship program and the GES to dismiss. So maybe I'll leave the 2 whichever one you pick.
Okay.
Ministry of Finance has allocated 410 million cedis to support the nationwide rollout of two of the government's youth empowerment flagship initiatives, the Ejumara and the National Apprenticeship Programs. Since the launch of the two programs earlier this year, over 120,000 and 115,000 applications, respectively, have been received via online and manual channels. The selection process is underway. The minister says the goal is to create a new generation of job creators and reduce over-dependence on public sector jobs. The hope is that by the end of the president's 4-year term, at least one company will emerge from this innovative idea and funding support. The Minister of Youth Development and Empowerment, George Opariado, said there. Let me then move on to talk about the GES one. Now it says, any supervisor or invigilator caught engaging in examination malpractice in this year's West Africa Senior High School, Senior School Certificate Examination for WASI will be dismissed, the Ghana Education Service has warned. It said the GES Council had given the service the power to dismiss any supervisor or invigilator found to have assisted candidate to cheat. Well, two issues here. Doc, let me start with you. All of us are young people here, so I'm sure the youth programs will catch your attention. I mean, we're talking about continuity.
Yes.
Sustainability must be the issue.
Exactly, sustainability and continuity. You see, the only problem I have with some of these things is this current government's approach to deliberately sort of erase everything that was done before they came into office. So in about 2023, 2024, the YEA had various youth employment programs like the Rapid Skills Training Program, the School Support Program, and an entrepreneurship program as well, where they trained over 10,000 people in skills, gave them some startup capital. I mean, it was even done in my constituency. But now I'm even trying to find the link to that site on YEA, and it is conveniently missing. All it is to say is that, you know, sometimes it's just okay to acknowledge where you are coming from so that it makes the journey a little bit more comprehensive. You could learn from some of the mistakes that we made at that time so that you could build on it. But when we see like a deliberate attempt to erase everything that was done before, I find it questionable. Number two, on these programs, if it is properly implemented, we hope to see some, because sometimes what most people need is just a little push. So I hope we actually are able to derive those benefits. But again, I'm not really holding my breath. I know in Parliament, the Honorable Kojo Eponkoma was asking for policy papers on these things, because you don't just launch, allocate some funds, and then we don't know how you are going to go about it. I don't think that request he made has been met yet. So we are all waiting to see the framework and how they hope to implement this, especially given the fact that most of these programs are things we were doing already. So we want to see what new innovation they are bringing to these sectors. But isn't that
continuing?
At
so
all.
If they are continuing.
That's how I started. I have no problem with them continuing. In fact, I'm quite happy about it. But if you acknowledge that you are continuing something, it is different than trying to remove the existence of what was there before and trying to paint a picture to the Ghanaian people that this is a new thing. So that is where that came from. So again, it goes to sustainability. And if we are all to think very patriotically and as Ghanaians, and we can get to a point where we can tone down our political colours just a little. I know it's very difficult. But if we were able to do that, then it's easy for whoever is in charge now to go and learn from what didn't work when we were doing those various apprenticeship programs over the last 8 years so that it can be built on. But I don't see that kind of approach. I'm hoping that it changes for the good of all of us, but right now I don't see that. Again, I want to see how sustainable it is. Are some of these trainees going to continue to have monitoring and assistance after the program? You know, we're all waiting for what the actual policy framework of these things are so that we can better give inputs.
But if you read the contest, I'm not sure it's different from what NEIP was doing under your tenure.
Exactly.
Because it says that to drive youth entrepreneurship, offer strategic business development training, facilitate market access for youth-led businesses, provide startup capital, and offer continuous mentorship.
Exactly.
So this was something you were doing.
If this is exactly what we were doing,
yes.
And we were lambasted that our efforts at youth job creation were not sufficient or we're not doing enough. So you come and you're repeating the same thing and you're expecting some magical growth in the sector. That's where I'm coming from. But if we were to admit that, oh, this is something NEIP and YEA were doing, these were some of the flaws, how do we improve upon that? I mean, I would have thought that would be a better approach, but that doesn't seem to be what's going on. As you read, it's exactly what has already been happening. So just relaunch, and just that this time, we don't even know exactly how they are going to go about it, how the distribution of funds are going to be done, or at least not yet. So we wait to see so that we can then give better input on these things. And again, it goes down to sustainability, sustainability, sustainability. It cannot be something that you have 1, 2, 3 cohorts and then we're out of funds and the whole program has crashed. And those are some of the problems that we had. So it will be very interesting to see what they have to say about that.
But isn't it encouraging that young businesses will be supported as, you know, with capital, with training, with mentorship to grow?
Of course.
You know, as he said, that even if at the end of the 4-year term, one business emerges out of this.
Of course, it's perfect. But what I am saying is we've been doing this way for a while. So I would have expected that at this point, there's more we can do so that we can maximize the odds and it's not one business out of the 400. Because if you look at all we know is the budget allocations that are going to these programs, and they are not measly sums of money. So for that amount of money that we are giving out, if we could optimize and get more out of it, I think that is probably the reset Ghanaians would have wanted. But if you are resetting and it's essentially the same thing, then, you know, that's where we are coming from. So I think the second issue was about...
Please, before you move on, I'm inviting you to take off your political hat, right? And then let's analyze this project, whatever they're saying. First, 2 things you said that, you know, strike me. You said this is something that you started. It means that there's something that you saw value in at some point.
Yes.
Secondly, you say that you thought that they would have sort of revamped the program, injected some new ideas, some innovation, so you see that they're improving or doing something better. Case in point, take all the criticisms that you got and then refine it. So if you take away your NPP hat, would you say that this program actually meets the Ghanaian youth at some point of their needs? Let's start there.
That's an interesting question. Obviously, if it's done properly, as I was saying last year, YEA came for some entrepreneurship programs in my constituency. And so I know people that had training in dressmaking and whatnot, and now they've started their own small businesses. So it's never something to knock down. I've never been against any sort of entrepreneurship, because sometimes, even if, like, I mean, the very controversial NAPCO, there are problems with it, but I know people that through NAPCO have learned skills that now they are employed. So I feel like even when something has some problems or it's not perfectly implemented, especially when it comes to these kinds of job creation things, there's always a little that you get out of it.
So that brings you to my second question. What do you think they should do differently now?
Again, we have to see what they plan to do exactly with their policy paper. Then we'll be able to have a very in-depth conversation on it. I was quite, you know, okay about their coders, because that's something that we also wanted to train 1 million Ghanaians in IT. I always believe that one of the best ways we can grow, looking at the landscape that we find ourselves globally, is to invest heavily in IT. There are high-paying jobs, you know, all of that. So I would have expected to see more of that. I mean, again, we are watching and seeing.
Then my last question. How do you know that they are doing the exact same thing if you've not seen the actual policy documents? You haven't actually taken the time to go through what the entire holistic program is going to be, but you're dissecting it and you're already saying that it's just a repetition of what you did.
Yes, from the snippets that they've given us and how they are going about it. You know, sometimes if from some experience you are able to see what's going on by looking at what's going on. So even from everything he read, I'm just like, oh, that's basically everything YE and NEIP were doing. And those that were in the know at that time know that that's exactly what was going on.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, you have to get the details to know whether it's the same.
Oh, but you read some details.
Yeah, no, that's what the graphic is reporting.
Yeah, from what they've said.
I guess the devil is in the details.
Yes. So that's the information.
We wait to see what happens.
That's the information that the government has given to the people. So as of now, that's the only thing we can make our our judgments and inferences from the little they've given us.
Okay. Yeah. Kojo, back to you.
Well, so Honorable Bataglia will come in here. I mean, she is talking about the fact that we'll learn from the shortfalls of yesterday. What have we learned? How different is this being done to ensure that we maximize the gains?
Let me say, the 2024 campaign tells it all. Why? Because even at a point, top-notch, the leaders of MPP were departing from a particular way of doing things in the campaign. And I want to believe that my dear sister here, if she's given the opportunity today to manage as an integral person of MPP, will do things in a more different way. The systems might be the same, the structure, but the architects and the modus operandi will be completely different. The issue about skill development didn't just start in the last 8 years. I know way back where we even have this master trainers. We're getting people from Tumu that move from Tumu to Tachima to learn how to, as mechanics. We've done, all those things have been done. But why do we fail? One is about the type of education we have. Now, if we think that where we are, we find we are having a system that do not train the fingers to be able to do more productive things, but only train brains that cannot create, then all of us are drifting towards, okay, let's get them young, train them for them to be productive forever. That's what we are looking at. And this concept has come to augment, but rather shift from just menial things, but to look at it from a broader picture. Because if you look at the Ghana Enterprises Agency, now they are looking at an angle of making sure that they go through a system that they can not just have the money to give to individual, the factories, but also have people who have the requisite skill to be able to work in those industries. So they start by this concept. Oh, fine. We have the code. She talks about the codes. We are looking at beyond just Ghana, believing that, yes, whilst Ghana is sleeping, another part of the world is working. Can we train people that can be all around? We can look at that. We are looking at people who want to look at, maybe they want to go into a fashion, not just the usual fashion that we have. Now we want to be able to create people who will be based on international levels. We're also looking at a lot of people who want to use their fingers to do a lot of things. So clearly to have said that we are just repeating the same thing that they have done, I don't think that's the case. Also saying that there's not a policy. We know during the launch of our campaign, the youth organizer then, the organizer then, brought in a youth policy and launched it before even the 2024 elections. So clearly there's a concept that they are following. Yes, they are rolling it out. This is the first tranche of money they've gotten. Let's wait and see who are they targeting. Clearly those communications will come out clearly. But I'm sure that my dear sister shouldn't quickly lose hope, believing that there's nothing going to happen that different. No, a lot of things will happen. Even the actors today are different from those who were there yesterday.
So as a legislator yourself, are you eager to peruse this policy document and understand exactly what the direction is? So yeah, so if you're eager to, then you're asking for it. So you know what I mean? So have you requested? Are you escalating? Are you demanding that, you know, your oversight responsibility as parliamentarians?
He's been invited to.
Oh, he has been invited.
He has been invited to Parliament on a number of occasions to answer questions. Okay. On a number of occasions.
But he's not produced a policy document.
I'm sure that will come. But he's been invited to. We even had a committee of a whole. He came to the plenary. He did everything. Told Ghanaians what he intended to do with his ministry. It's about empowering the Ghanaian people. But we want to make sure that the measures we are putting really goes to have impact on the Ghanaian youth.
You know that at some time last year, middle last year or so, we had at the time, ranking member on Parliament Education Committee, Nochutokwe or something. Peter Nochutokwe. And at that time, he was telling us that Parliament did not have a document for free senior high school. And I remember how minority at that time, you know, came for their heads because it meant that you're running this beautiful program, yet Parliament does not have an actual document to ascertain the direction of this program and where the gaps are so they can begin to fill it. And so I guess I'm asking, if Dr. Kiamwako is punching these loopholes and saying that you have not provided us with these
She has not seen it, doesn't mean that's not there. They are two
but you have also not said it is there.
No, what I'm saying is that he came with clear policy direction. He came.
Is it enough?
No, it's enough.
That he just comes to wax lyrical about what he wants to do?
You don't speak from your mind, you speak from a document.
Yes, but you don't have the
document. Are you saying about not making the document public? Is that what you are saying? Or the document?
I'm asking you as a parliamentarian. Have you seen the document? Do you have a document that speaks to these youth initiatives and programs that the ministry wants to do?
I even started by saying, before even we voted into power, there's a document that was
a
launched.
Manifesto, no?
That was a youth manifesto. That's a basis of your, that serves as a basis. That's why you sold to Ghanaians. Okay. You don't depart completely from it. So to have said that the whole ministry is operating without a document, that is not something we can agree here. No. Because it was a basis to develop a document, and that is clearly, it's just like the issue, people made noise about this issue at 24-hour, we've been hearing it.
Well,
it
doesn't mean there's no document.
Yes, exactly. We've had those kind of
but I mean, time is of the essence, no?
Exactly, but bring it and bring it properly. Don't just write because somebody's asking you to bring it.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. We can move on, Kojo. I have... Are you done with the stories in your paper?
Yes, I think I'm done.
Okay, so let me run through.
Both of them didn't take a bite on the GS dismissal invigilators.
Also, has it already been done? Have they already?
They said they are warning. They are going to start WASI.
Today, actually.
Yes, yesterday they wrote some practicals. And they are warning them that if you are caught in exam malpractice.
Clearly, for me, I think that it is the way to go. I want to have a crop of young ones coming to take up the transition of their life academically, being formidable. For instance, everybody listening to Dr. Ikwemo knows that she's well grilled in where she is. Yes, she knows her stuff. You can depend on. So we want to see more of such people. We don't want a situation where students come and at every stage of their education, they are so dependent. They cannot be themselves. And there are a lot of students that are sacked from higher institutions, like Legon has the cause to, University of Ghana has the cause to complain, Science and Tech. There are a lot of places because we think that it has become a norm where we allow these young ones to be so much dependent on people's support. No, I think that it's something, whatever, there are laws governing the conduct of examinations. Once you fall that, the law should take its course. I am completely in sync with the WAEC. If they find any teacher or any invigilator support assistant students in a manner that is not compromising the standard of examination, that should be taken strongly. And I think that one they should not, because I think we would need to create a society that people merit what they've got to get. They are meritorious of it. Yeah. Today, we have, even at the highest level, we have debates of people carrying titles that do not merit them. And we don't think that should trickle down to the younger one before even they grow. No, I don't support that completely. I think that WAEC is in the right course to fish out those who are corrupting our young ones at that very little age.
Okay, Doc.
So first I would like to wish all the candidates all the best, and especially those in our conflict-prone areas. I'm just wondering how they would be able to go about this. But even in very tough situations, I mean, people find a way to survive and shine. So I would like to wish all the best to them. And on this issue, I think my brother Honorable here and I will agree perfectly. I think the best thing to do is to instill some discipline. It's obvious that as a people, as a society, we need some discipline back in our lives. I know there was this saying they used to say about how a teacher, a very good teacher, before the exam, his job is done. He should have poured so much into you that you are confident enough to take the paper, that he doesn't need to be around on that day. So I'm hoping we can go back to that and that we can see a drop in all these exam malpractice issues. The truth is that it never seems to go down. When there's a will, people seem to always want to find a way. So I think that's why it's important to crack the whip on this matter sometimes, especially if it's coming from the invigilators and whatnot, then it becomes worrying because they are supposed to be overseeing the entire process. So we wish them all the best and hope that they don't cheat too much.
They don't even cheat, not too much.
Just before we move on from the Daily Graphic, this is a story that really breaks my heart, and I feel that it also speaks about the kind of people we have in society. The police make breakthrough in immigration officer death.
Yeah.
3 other cases. Yeah. And I just want to read a bit about the murder suspect. It says Mr. Amwa, also known as Otumfuo Nana, was declared missing on July 4, 2025. Investigations reveal that he had left home the previous evening to meet a man identified as Bright Awe, who had sent him WhatsApp images of cash and asked to settle an outstanding debt. The suspect, who initially admitted to handing over 500,000 cedis to the deceased, was arrested and charged with kidnapping. However, following the discovery of Mr. Amwe's burnt body and forensic evidence, including blood stains, burnt fabrics, and a bloodied fufu pestle, the charge was upgraded to murder. Quote, he is currently on remand following his appearance before the Adabakra District Court and is scheduled to reappear on August 8, 2025. A special operation is currently underway to identify and arrest his accomplices, and we are following other vital leads to gather all necessary evidence against the suspect and his accomplices, COP Donko said yesterday. I'm sure you followed this particular story.
Yeah,
an immigration officer whose friend owed him, I think, 300,000 Ghana cedis. A friend called him, "Oh, I've gotten the money, come for it." Ended up, going missing, only for his body to be identified half bent somewhere. Now the police say they've gone to the room of this suspect. They've identified that he tried covering glass stains on the wall with new paintings and all of that. I mean, what does this speak to you about the kind of people we call friends? And what lessons can we draw from? Because this story, really, you owed someone. You said the person should come for the money, only for you to murder the person in that way.
Well, clearly, you see, humans, we are different. Yeah, we are different. There are some who cannot even hurt a fly. And others who have a grand scheme, not just to take your material wealth, but also even take your life. It happens. There were instances where we were in this country where we woke up one early morning getting shocked that human parts are kept in the fridges. That is something unfathomable. Nobody can believe that in Ghana, somebody can kill and then stock them in the deep freezer. No, it's not possible. And it's happening around Tepa area. You remember, it's a story in this country, around Sunyani, that area. Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
You remember that story?
Yeah.
It happened.
Oh,
it happened in this country.
A young guy was keeping bodies in fridges. Yeah.
Keeping bodies in fridges.
Yes. That only happened in...
I need to read up on
that. Around young content, I think those areas. I don't know the person.
That's the kind of stuff you only watch in serial killer movies.
Exactly. So sometimes, when these things happen, you wonder. I had a shock of my life to have read or seen those videos that a human being can kill and stop human part in fridges. This is about what transpired. But I am happy the issues have been moved. It's moving gradually from just suspect to issues about murder. Because once the investigation is establishing clear link to intention to kill, definitely you have to be tried as a murderer. So I think that once again, life has been lost. It's quite an unfortunate situation. We don't want it to happen, but the law should take its course. We know justice, they say, sometimes grinds slowly, but this one, they should make sure that they speed it up, making sure that anybody who is connected to this kind of act should be brought to book and suffer as the law prescribed.
Right.
This is quite unfortunate.
Doc.
Sad. My heart goes to the family.
Yeah. How did this story make you feel?
First thoughts and prayers to the family. I think I saw videos of the family of the immigration officer on that day calling for the head of the suspects, and I mean, I could relate with them. I mean, what would you do in that situation? You might just want the head of the person on a spike, but we live in a country of laws, and so we hope that the law enforcement agencies are allowed to do their duty. But I think the weirdest part of all of this for me is that he was killed over 300,000.
Yes.
300,000 owed him. So if you don't want to pay me, you can duck or other things. There are simpler ways of evading this than to spend the rest of your life in jail. But I think it just goes back to, I don't know, human emotion and what we do when we feel like we are pushed to the wall. And sometimes I think we underestimate the value of human life.
Sure. Agree.
Because killing somebody over 300,000 is it's a lot of money, but it's just money as well, like in the same vein, I mean. And it's money you owed him. You had gone some time without paying him. I mean, at the worst case, you could have just continued trying to evade him. And for anybody to lose a life like that is very sad. So I think we'll just monitor that matter keenly in the courts, because no matter what we do, we are not going to bring back the young immigration officer. I just hope that his family keeps strong.
So his picture.
I've always said that. I've always said that if I owe you, okay, if for any reason you want to take my life, just tell me that if you don't stop this, I'll end your life. I'll leave that thing for you because look, life is precious. I have kids, I have family, and this guy has a young kid.
Very young.
So if you want to end someone's life, warn him. Maybe the person will stop pursuing that particular goal.
Warn him.
Oh yes, warn me that if you don't stop, you'll kill me. I would leave it for you.
Because I'm sure if he knew it was his life or the money he was owed, he would have definitely picked his life.
Because I love my life.
It means he has to add more.
Yes,
He would have added
probably,
more to live.
You see, when I was much younger, and I used to get angry with my parents and other guardians when they say they didn't want us to be exposed to stories like these. You know, my father was a producer director at GBC, and there was particular stories he just wouldn't let us watch. You know, and I didn't understand until I got older and I realized that human beings are not all human beings. You know. Shakespeare said there's no act to show the mind's illustration on the face. You and I could be sitting here and having this conversation, and a human being could be plotting your last breath.
Yes.
You know, and it shocks me to know that I thought these were things I only read about in storybooks and watching movies. It shocks me to hear that this is happening right here in this country. For you to use fufu pestle to kill someone just because of 300 cities, it scares me.
Was the murder
that is the last resort. To paying up your debt, you know. So I think we should let's be more human, right? Life is precious. You have only one. You have only one. And it doesn't lie in your mouth or your hands to take somebody's life just because you've been pushed to the corner.
While keeping yours.
While keeping yours.
But I guess now his
anyway,
is also
so let's get
over.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's move on. I want to rush through the Ghanaian Times. Please take note of the stories that pique your interest, and then we'll discuss. Starting with, let's address growing human transnational trafficking. So the increasing trafficking of men for cyber fraud and the growing trend of transnational trafficking of foreign migrants through the country is a national security concern. Now, this is coming from the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, Dr. Agnes Nalumulate. And to this end, she has called for collaboration among stakeholders to urgently address the situation. Another story that still shocks me, that we traffic human beings. And guess what the story is saying? Is that transnational trafficking of foreign migrants, right? And then men for cyber fraud. So this fraud thing, this Sakawa thing that we were talking about as children, has now evolved to the point where we are trafficking men to come and do fraud. I have to digress. You saw the movie, To Kill a Monkey. Oh, none of you have seen it. Okay, it's a Nigerian film series on Netflix. I love it. And it shows you exactly what they're talking about. So they recruit young men, take them through some sort of ritualistic ceremony, and tie them to their master. And all you have to do is defraud people. So they'll set you up with a computer or whatever, and then you have to just bring in the clients for you. It has become some sort of business, booming business for us, to the point that we are trafficking humans. Let me not take the wind out of your sail. So that's one story. FDA suspends manufacture of Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. ECG cautions public against unauthorized meter transfers. I have to get into the story. So according to ECG, all meters issued by the company were registered to specific locations and must not be moved without formal approval. Unauthorized transfers, the utility power provider says, could disrupt billing systems, cause service challenges, and result in legal action. And I'm just going to add two more stories from here. Water boards inaugurated, tasked to champion reforms. And on the back page, CSIR CRI unveils climate-smart, nutrient-rich bean varieties, and 2.7 million euros project launched for displaced persons, host communities in northern Ghana. These are the stories in the Ghanaian Times newspaper, as well as the increment of the cocoa producer price, which we've already discussed, and the 410 million Ghana cedi earmarked for youth programs, according to the Minister for Youth. He took a stand, George Opari took a stand at the Government Accountability Series yesterday. So let me start with you, Mr. Battaglia. Which of these stories do you want to get into?
Well, I want to talk about, we'll start with the story from the Gender Ministry.
Yeah.
That is a reality. I will just give an example. In my constituency, Sala East, in Tumu, we suffered sin we got a group of foreign nationals that came into Tumu, had a hotel room with a group of young people, inviting young ones to train them in this online business.
No way.
It turned out to be like they are more of just training people to defraud others online. Yeah, but thankfully we had some of our brothers arrived from Tamale. That's you have Sanda and then Muru. I think when they went to the hotel, they suspected that no, the movement of people in and out a particular room was quite unusual. So they said no. They brought the issue up, and then I spoke to the MCE. Then we spoke to the music, the security system there.
Yeah.
They went and accosted them, interrogated them. In fact, they have to repatriate them. But I'm sure this is happening at many other areas. Today, if you go to Kumasi, there are a lot of young ones who are running from the village to come and join other businesses like online businesses. Nobody knows what they are training them for. This is becoming a danger. It's like our society, I keep mentioning that, has become so materialistic side that staying and going by the principle of delayed gratification has become a thing of the past. Young ones don't want to stay in school. They are attracted by what they see as an immediate gains. So everybody just wants to have a shortcut to wealth. And that is quite a challenge we are all faced with. Even sometimes you have a talk with your own relative, telling them they have to stay in school, work for. They see that no, maybe Dr. Mwako is not as rich as the one they see driving all the best cars. That has no future. They only see the immediate life. And I think that once you establish, you draw yourself into this kind of thinking, you are entrapped and further you cannot come out. And that's the challenge we are faced with. So I think that our border system should be strengthened. The security system should make sure that they are able to take every little step very important. Besides that, we have to have a collaborative interaction for the rural people. For instance, we have the local authority, we have the chiefs and we have stakeholders in the society. We should be watchdogs of our own community, because this community is becoming so sophisticated and more difficult said that we don't allow things to chance. And that's what I'm employing, because I think that when we act as a group, as a team, as a people, we are able to save our society. We don't only save society, we save our children from being lured into activities that will not benefit them.
That's exactly what the minister said.
Exactly.
She said that some of these young women are lured by fraudulent recruitment agencies with promises of well-paying jobs abroad, only to be subjected to abuse, torture, rape, and forced
We get all the funny calls. A young man called me, a young guy called me, and he's not even done with secondary school, and was telling me that he has a future. It's like an opportunity came and actually support. But I was saying that, why don't you stay back? So they see that you are his destiny killer. Sometimes they can go on and on with some negative commentary about you. But I think that we have tested all these things and realized that there's no future there. The future is just what we are running away from. Stay, learn, and become somebody productive. When you are, wherever you want to be, you will be.
Thank you. Yeah. So, Doc, Dr. Latte, the gender minister, said that this human trafficking issue has evolved in various scopes and complexities. And Ghana is not only now a recruitment or destination for human trafficking, but also some sort of transit point. So I like that Mr. Battaglia mentioned strengthening border control and enforcing our rules and regulations. But let's hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. And again, I always talk about having some behavioral change. I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but the way we glorify the people that engage in these acts, it's something that fuels it. If it was shunned or there was some negative stigma about it, I don't think a lot of people would aspire to go into it as they currently do. Now, as he rightly said, it's more cool to do some get-rich-quick scheme than to try and go the hard way of getting an education and whatnot. And to me, that's like, it's neither here nor there. I've always been an ardent supporter of education, because that's the only place where you are standing on your own 2 feet, striving on your own. It doesn't matter which home you come from or who your parent was, or it all becomes irrelevant. Once you get into an educational system, it's your own merit. Yeah. So no matter where you come from, if you sit down and you apply yourself, you should be able to get the best out of it. And once you come out and you're able to achieve some level of education, then your life would go from there. But now what is worrying is that people drop out of secondary school and all of these things to go and sort of take up apprenticeships in fraud, because we've made it so glamorous and there's not too much negativity around it. It's something you can probably, because you're taking a really nice car, you can probably take it to your home and your parents will not question you too much. And that's where the problem comes from. And I think it might be because the nature of the crime is such that the victim is at an arm's length. So they don't, I don't know if it's that they don't feel that they're actually stealing. But if you've been defrauded before, you would know that it's not an easy thing. And so you would expect people to have some more compassion and know that, just as he said, the short way never seems to work. And another interesting thing that I've noticed around, especially in Accra, is that people usually are in this business and you can just see the volatility in their lives. One moment they are doing so well, they have so much. The next time they can barely afford to feed. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, not too long ago, you had a Porsche, and now where's all of it? So it just goes to show how it's not also a very straightforward way of doing things. And you seem to have a nice time for a while, you peak, and it all disappears. Now we've also seen how the international agencies have taken an interest, and they've shown their dedication to be able to come down here to pick people. So it's something that I think as a society we should start looking at, especially when it gets so lucrative that people find it enticing enough to then import people, camp them and train them and all of that. That becomes a recipe for organized crime disaster, which I think luckily in this country we don't have too much of it. But imagine somebody then running like a prostitution ring out of this or something. It becomes something that's very worrying. And I hope that the government agencies are on top of it so that we can kill some of these things before it blows out of proportion.
Okay. Your papers?
I'm just thinking, can't landlords also help in this whole thing? Because if I come and rent your property and it's, say, 6K a month, and you're not able to prove, you know, like what do I do? I don't know, but you see, when young people come to rent your property, they are not going out, they're always there, lots of people are coming in. Can they show interest in helping us curb this? Because we see a lot of these young guys living flashly in our areas. Can landlords do anything?
There's a whistleblower act where you can
more interested in collecting their money.
Yeah. So you can blow the whistle on them, you know.
They don't do it. That's why I'm asking. Can they begin to help us, you know, to track down this? You remember I don't want to mention the country's name, but we had some of our brothers and sisters from other countries coming to live with us. Last year, they arrested some people who were keeping around 200 or so young boys in one area, one apartment, and that's what they were doing. So can landlords really help? If I, Kotobris, come to rent your house and I'm paying 6K, can you point to what the job I do to be able to afford that thing? Like Doc said, they're only interested in collecting, but can they move beyond just collecting to say, what do you do? Because I know some landlords who would go to the extent of knowing, are you even married?
Yeah.
Because if you're not married, they won't even give you the house. You have kids. Can they move further to say, what do you do? And prove that the person, you know, can afford it before. Because young people renting 6K, 7K a month apartment and no one cares.
Some even more than that.
You know, that's the point I'm making, saying that it requires the involvement of all of us. Everybody has a role to play. Otherwise, we are becoming helpless in our own society, in our country. We are becoming helpless. And it's a dangerous thing waiting to explode one day.
Because the young people are getting attracted by the money.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Even young children.
It's looking like a very attractive career prospect for some people, and that's the worry.
It is just the orientation, materialistic orientation of our state. The way we are now, that's what we adore. We will not be praising her when she does something very fantastic, saving lives in the hospital. But we might praise her if she's driving the best of cars, wherever she gets it from, nobody talks about. That's the kind of society we have.
Demand and supply, I dare say.
If you have this kind of society.
For the sake of time, I have to rush you. Let's get into your newspapers for us. Doc, let's start with you.
Okay, so I have the Economy Times. On the front page, we have banks expected to begin lending rate cuts this week as BOG cuts benchmark rates by 300 basis points. BOG goes hard on banks to curb forex crunch as traders raise alarm. That has been a problem on everybody's lips. Trump raises new tariffs on Ghana, others to 15%, effective August 7. And I wanted to look at the story I found on the inside. Energy sector levies will enhance power supply but threaten inflation and transport fares. So, professional services firm PwC has stated that though the energy sector levy is expected to enhance the government's capacity to stabilize power supply and reduces power sector debts, it also places added pressure on consumers. The pressure on the consumers, it said in its commentary on the 2025 mid-year budget review, will come through higher fuel prices, potentially affecting transport costs and inflation. I think that's something that we all saw coming and expected. Another shot of scam from the government.
Scam?
Yes, I mean, that's another way they promise.
This is a very difficult, quite unparliamentary. Can you please draw that? How can you say it's not a scam?
This is also a scam.
It's not a scam. This cannot be a scam.
Let me explain.
Okay,
let me explain myself on that.
Yeah.
That's another way. Another thing we were told that we will not raise revenue by introducing taxes. And indeed you have. So in that bit, you have scam Ghanaians.
But I think that is a background to art.
There's always a background to everything. You see, no matter the situation, especially in the business, that you find a way to explain it.
Do you believe it's an intentional, dishonest way to scheme the Ghanaian people, or it's just victims of circumstance?
On the energy sector level.
No, on what you're calling a scam.
They are no. See, when it's just about the dynamics of election. When two sides are going into an election, a lot of things are said, a lot of things are done. And people hold governments to account. So if you say certain things confidently in Parliament at your vetting, you will not raise revenue through new taxes. And less than 7 months, you go around and just do the exact same thing. Now about 8 new taxes or so have been introduced. You are scamming the people.
Politicians often say a lot of things and don't deliver on all of them. Would you say, so is it an accurate statement to say that politicians are scammers?
You see, that is the perception we are trying to change. Yeah. We want to be people that people have some modicum of trust in. We have to be known to keep our words. Especially not blatantly like this. So if they waited even 2 years before they started their spree of tax introduction, it would have been a little easy on our souls as Ghanaians. But less than 7 months and you've dropped 8 on us. That's serious.
But which are you interested in? Having lights, your power stay on, or having them go out and not paying taxes, but paying and having
the last 8 years, we had power, stable power mostly, right? We're not paying this tax. So when you make that argument, it's in my head, it just doesn't wash, because we've been able to survive for some time without introducing this 1 cedi on 1 liter. It's not small. That means on 1 gallon it's over 4 cedis. I don't want to go back into the nitty-gritties of this matter, but it's not as simple as it is, and it will take some time and I saw there's going to be an increment of transport fares on another platform when I was coming here. So slowly it's going to creep into the Ghanaian economy and pinch their pockets. So it's something that's...
So how do you feel about what she's saying?
My beautiful sister, the communication director, Dr. Mwakwe, she's doing a very fantastic job for her people. Why? Because we are 2 good people here, best friends. But once I'm looking for good news, she's looking for bad news. That's what she's doing.
Well, she's in opposition.
That's what she's doing. She's finding a way to create a problem. But let's be honest. A government came into power at a point people were buying fuel at 16 Ghana cedi. The government manages to bring it down to 12 and say out of the 12.
But Honorable, when you came to power, we were not buying fuel at 16.
How much were you buying it?
It was around 14, 15.
So let's even say 15. Let's pick the 15. Let's pick the 15, or even pick it 14.
January 2020. I can check.
Yeah, you can check. Let's even take it 14. Let's even pay it 14. Then the government managed to bring this thing down at a point that nobody expected it, to 12. And it even further was going down to the 11. Then government said that if we were dependent on, based on the kind of debt we have at the energy sector, that's about over 78 billion Ghana cedi dollars. If we wait and we have to onboard all fuel costs at one point, we'll be increasing electricity or energy by 54%. Can we bring up a strategy whereby before even the people will be benefiting the 11 cedi per liter, let's introduce 1 cedi to make it 12 cedi. By that, they will still have an amount of about 2 cedi to keep as benefit. It's not a complete shock. No.
So it was sold at 15.74.
15.74.
That's at January
down
2025.
Yes. So it means that government effort actually saved the Ghanaian by 3
That should be
cedi.
for diesel, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
No, petrol.
Petrol. Okay, look at it.
Really?
So they just picked it at 17 cedi.
I'm reading from...
Okay,
60
because this is Goel PLC. January 2nd, Super XP was 14.99. Diesel XP was 15.60.
Okay.
Super XP 95 was 15.60.
So on average, let's say 15.
Yes, yes.
Average is 15. So it means that government brought this down to 12 and said that, okay, out of the 12, I've been able, through my effort and ingenuity, I've been able to bring this hardship down for you to be able to buy by saving about 3 cedi on each litre.
But that's the argument minority is making. That you give us some sort of relief and then at the back,
Yes.
at the back end, you take something away.
If you take
from
more, that becomes dangerous. But if I am telling you, I'm giving you relief, 4. But if you keep the 4, you end up at the end paying about 7. So give me 1 to save a situation that will make you keep more. How am I a dangerous person? How am I a dangerous person?
Or how are you a scammer, huh?
No, I don't want to use that word.
Oh, I can explain if you give me just 1 minute.
No, please.
We have about 5 minutes to go.
Don't give Dr. Makoe.
Okay.
I think that we have been very candid and honest with the Ghanaian people. Let me tell you, I'll give you a story. There's a lady I buy shoes from. When I got there the first time, he said that, I beg you, just try and maintain the CD so that it will be stable. We are happy to be able to. I don't want any surprises. At that time, we were exchanging around 17 Ghana cedis, 16 or 15 Ghana cedis. I'm not sure about the figure. Then, when the thing started dropping, then she called me and said that, can you push it down to what, 9? Before she wanted just a stability. She didn't want it to go up again. But now she saw that, she didn't believe that that could have happened. But now she saw it coming down, making the CD much more stronger. Then she said that try and get it back to what to 9. That is exactly what my dear sister is saying. We have been able to take off a huge burden from the Ghanaian people. If I am telling you, she's just said that if 1 cedi per litre is not easy, that's 4 cedi in a gallon. But the same way the Ghanaian person or the Ghanaian, the consumer, has saved 3 cedi per litre, that's about what, 12 cedi.
Okay, so Doc, we give you the chance to respond. Make it short.
So you have a soft spot for Doc.
I really want to hear how she comes back.
You know she will come back. You know.
I think the NDC go about all of this and forget the price of crude last year when our price was at that point and the price of crude right now. Now it's at an all-time low, about 60 or so, between the $60 per barrel. In 2025, in 2024, the ending of last year, it was about 80, even sometimes getting to 85, almost $90 per barrel for fuel. That's how much we were buying it for, and that's how much Ghanaians were paying. Now that you are buying it for about $60, you are charging X amount and saying that because there's been a marginal drop, you are justifying a tax. What you don't tell people is that it is X amount plus 1 cedi. So this conversation we are having now, I'm going to keep the recording, so that when the world crude price rises to about 80 something, about to the levels that we had, and so the price per litre comes to 14 or so, or 15 as the base price, and you have to add 1 cedi, then we'll see how the conversation
I'll go
goes.
with you.
That is why when the whole war started, you were panicking all over the place because you.
Oh, to be fair, they were the ones saying they were actually assuring us. I listened to
but the information about the war affecting the price of crude came from
visionary leadership will let you take a step back.
Trying to prime the minds of, and you even withheld the implementation of the tax, foreseeing that happening could really increase the cost of the crude on the market.
That's
and visionary. So you would increase and actually they increased the fuel prices. So then they withheld the implementation of the 1 cedi just so we don't hit at them too. But you can't play this theatrics for long. It will expose you.
There's a famous comment in Parliament where Kojo Oponokoma Honorable will say that no matter how difficult it is, keep the lights on. Ghanaians want to have the lights on.
We are giving concerning yourself
as to whether there's an adjustment of what Ghanaians are getting the maximum comfort.
Mr. Battaglia, these are issues that I like to leave to our audience because you are the judge of the matter. Okay, so it is you.
Because
these policies, this action, not necessarily. At this point in this conversation, I like to be neutral. but our audience are watching, and they are the ones who will be feeling
you are
whether or not.
You are a Ghanaian.
Yes, I am, but I'm also moderating
there.
between NDC and PP, so I need to be very neutral over here.
The feeling is
we have a few minutes to get into your paper.
If she takes a stand and it doesn't favor you, will you be okay with it?
Oh no, it depends on how I see it. I relate. But she has always taken a stand that does not favor me. I'm able to debate my way out.
No,
so same way.
Yeah.
She should tell me how she feels so that I can even adjust better.
I can tell you that in as much as we claim or we say...
Don't be saying this with sweetie,
No. This is my opinion,
Good.
right?
Yeah.
I think that there was some sort of financial pressure in the atmosphere in the lead up to election 2024.
Okay.
In as much as the pressure has reduced, it doesn't mean that I'm making more money. It doesn't mean that my money is able to get me more things than I previously could do with the same amount of money. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it looks like there's some sort of... It's area. There's some sort of relief, but Charlie, the money in my pocket is not.
You are talking
changed.
based on this because it means that relief is not taking you constantly to Awaku's office, so that you be checking your blood pressure. So it means there's comfort.
We have some time to get into your paper. Yeah.
At this point, it's 8, right?
Is it 8 already?
Yes,
Oh, okay. We have to cross over. Well, thank you.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay,
right.
we have some time. We'll be taking you to the Joy Sports Invitational. There's something fantastic happening in the Joy Prime Studios.
So you know today,
stay with us.
They are balloting to see which company plays which company, and it's happening in the studios of Joy Prime.
So we'll take you there later. Let's get into your paper.
The New Republic, that former SPY boss, stolen German machine. I think it's in reference to Adubuahi. Then we say, I'm free. Thanks to mafia. I don't know who those mafias are. That's Paula Dumochre. The SML disguised as what? Evertax in shady airport deal. The government to revive Commander Sugar Factory.
Every day we hear this. Yet it never becomes a reality.
Well, there's new hope.
Okay, amen.
There's new hope.
Well, we hope so.
Yeah, there's new hope.
Okay, I mean, you started it, right? Yeah. They went for the $30 million to revamp them.
We are minimizing, the politics has been minimized, and reality has come to play, so things will work out.
I pray so, because the commander people have always been saying that they need the jobs. And it won't be only for commander people. I'm sure some people from the Western region will benefit, and those who grow sugarcane, wherever in the country, you'll become a beneficiary indirectly, because they'll buy from you. So.
Is that it for your papers?
Yeah, that's
it. Then. Well, thank you. Is there any story there that you want to reflect on? Paula Domotre's story, the Ghana Airports Company Limited, any of them?
People, the interest rates are coming down. I thought I would talk about it.
We discussed it.
She wouldn't want to talk about good things. She read it and wouldn't want to emphasize on that.
I'm waiting for it to come down.
Definitely.
You see that to reflect
in our assurance that the CD appreciation it's not just going to be a facade of one day in Rwanda. No, it's going to be there. And for the past 7 months, at least.
So you're not pumping dollars as the IMF said?
Oh, no, but you see, they have always been strategies. But how sustainable are the strategies? That's what we are looking at. Important thing is get money and make the Ghanaian comfortable. Are we doing it or not? Are we destroying the economy? No, the economy is growing, it's expanding, there's confidence. People are thinking about investing more. So what is it?
Okay. I hope the solutions you are putting up today will not come to bite us tomorrow. You remember in 2019-2020, during COVID, government did everything to make Ghanaians comfortable. Yet we paid for it afterwards.
We are not doing that kind of smart economics. No, that's not that's not what we are doing. We are being very honest and very candid with the Ghanaian as to how to make sure that we alleviate our struggles. That's it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time. So those who join us for this conversation, do you have something, final words?
Yeah, I think that I also want to, at this point, also wish the young people in my constituency the best of luck in their examination. I am sure, I trust in their judgment in terms of writing the examination. They will comply with the rules and regulations governing the examinations. I wish everybody well. I wish all Ghanaian students who are writing these examinations the best of luck. Thank you.
Okay. Once Honorable has gone, Doc, I don't know, but I want to stay on where he left off to also wish the WASI student, all of them, all the best. In Hunter West, there are 3 senior high schools. We have St. Mary's Boys, we have Badubonso, where I attended. That's my school.
Okay.
I mean, in Ghana, I'm not sure you talk about any better school. without mentioning Badubon. So anyway, so that's
actually misinformation right there.
Yeah, but
you don't mention Bonu Bonsu.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
What school did you attend?
I went to MGS.
Okay, that's fine. No, hold on.
Malco Girls Senior High School.
Honorable, what school did you attend?
I went to Tumu Secondary Technical,
good.
one of the famous rural schools that produces best people.
You know?
Good. No, which school did you attend?
Holy Child School.
Holy Child.
And then you went to Bono Bonsu.
No. You have to mention the name. Well.
Oh, sorry. What's the name again?
The name is Badu Bonso. Senior High Technical School.
And I'll wager you, Kojo. I'll wager you that half of our audience have never heard.
Oh, no, they have. Now listen, around the table, we have a Bonso here or we don't have a Bonso here.
What does that even mean?
I'm here, right?
Yes.
I'm representing Badu Bonso,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So if you are talking about a better schools, you cannot mention without Badu Bonso. That's what I mean.
That's a solid argument.
It's an argument you can actually make.
So we have Badu Bonso and we have Sankoro Senior High School. So I want to wish all of you all the best as you prepare to write this wasi. I have interacted with a lot of you and I know that you are prepared for this. I wish you the best of luck. Go and make yourselves proud and make your schools proud, make Ghana proud. Bazabe Bezike, be teacher say yedie be rebedie till now. In number of correct paper say, but her exams room care with all the confidence. Belebelike, Boko paper, madam, sebete question say too. The Bahalebu Badua, but Yamana Mazai, a co boko zukapon boko, you know. In Tinyamara Wabe, none bo exams room in Bahala paper say bo, Nabudua, Nabahili, but Mam's even as home, Yanile, Yamana, and they don't believe exams anymore.
All right.
Yeah,
so everything Kojo said, right? Dr. Kiamaku, you have the final word. And I'll give you the opportunity to
Kojo has given us an indication.
Don't worry, we'll go around the table.
Yeah, so I think I had already done my bit.
Sure.
But yes, I would again wish them well, all the Hobsons. I mean, they are not Hobsons yet. So all the students in Holy Child, wishing them all the best. We usually do great, so I am just encouraging you again that we have faith in you and then we are very sure that you succeed. Again, our sisters in Wesley Girls, we're always fighting, but all the best to them as well. And indeed, all the students around the country. It's always an interesting time. You feel like it's literally the end of your world, only for you to realize that that's just the beginning of the issues you are going to have. So all the best, and we're all very proud of you already.
Okay, now
you only become a Hobson after completing, yeah? Oh, okay.
Bataglia is taking us to Sisala East.
Yes, Sisala East. You know, we speak Sisala. Tombine and Ache and Kabuhang actually. Ana hiya sanga kurusan anam balewu no nga hisatan hame abaleria helere won kumusku akacho musu tenlele asula wesre majo ahono awiese alisa man sai rokan tono apara ne ba da kana na garmanan exam sun wa kan to kuku ala di madon sun basamo hisalewu wisula asula kapama last year sulara apama mammo adaka anaka do ma laha garmana da akan kawwa akan to torra akan to porma akan wugure ka bala mbrapa dia ma kasula akachwala ndiya na rambina bra anan biyan aya unanga to isopol pungure wallo hedo. Thank you so much. To wait,
yeah, I was waiting for that.
I love it.
To wait,
what does that mean?
I just said
just summarize for us.
We are known for integrity, and I believe that they will go into that examination with that kind of integrity. We do not want people to come out of the examination with question marks. We believe that they have learned a lot. They go there, exhibit what they have learned. They should sit down, relax, read, understand, and write. And there's no doubt they will come out, as always, with flying colors to make us proud as a people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all so much. And I don't want Kojo to win this round, so I'm just going to say, I'm a bia mauna na minsa na dungsami. Dodokbo is not the end of life, right? There's life after exam. So just take your time, read the question, understand, and I pray that everything will go well for you. And all the best to the Malco girls who are writing the exam starting today. And that brings us to the end of the news review. Thank you for watching. We had Dr. Kiamaku. He's a member of the NPP Communications Directorate. And then Mohammed Bataglia is the Member of Parliament for Sisala East. So right about now, we'll take a break. But when we return, we'll take you to the Joy Prime Studios, where the Joy Sports Invitational Tournament, the balloting for who comes first, who plays what, is going to happen. All that after the break. We'll be right back.